Welcome to the Bookers Alliance podcast, where we hold the pencil and the pencil is power. Coming at you right now is your host, Marky Mark, along with the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Donaldson. Join us as we discuss the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling. So hang on tight, you jabronis, and enjoy the ride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Bookers Alliance podcast. Come on inside the house, bring yourself up a ringside seat. It's been a while and we missed you. Come on in, get your popcorn, your sodas, your whiskey, everything you need. We got a story to tell today, and it is the tale of three bums.
We got three hobos in the house this week. That's what we're going to be talking about. But so is it welcome in or welcome back? 'Cause I mean, hell.
Welcome back.
Exactly. You take a week off and man, it feels like everything in the world happens in that week. Like, we had all them boring ass weeks in the summer, the dog days of summer where we were searching for content. Like, give us something to talk about. We take one damn week off and hell, they splash us with so much stuff now. Now we got to do a catch-up episode.
We got all kinds of things in the oven cooking. So before we get to any meal prep today, we got to talk about Uncle Nearest, our sponsor for this week's single barrel premium whiskey. And it's quite hot, 122 proof.
That's what they say. I mean, hey, we go over 100 every week. So now you just have to keep it going. You can't back off of it now.
Pedal to the metal.
I mean, hey, till the wheels fall off.
Cheers to that. Ooh. Oh, that one's tasty.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why once you get past that initial bite, and then, like you said, where it's hot on that first one, once you get past that, then it actually sits for a second. Got a pretty good taste to it.
Honey. I get the honey flavor out of that all of a sudden.
Yep. Apparently, from what this little thing says here, it's the most awarded bourbon and American whiskey in 21, 22, and 23.
Okay.
So those are good years.
Okay. I don't know about 21 and 22, though. That's COVID years.
True enough. Yeah, well, that's probably why I was most awarded, because we were all in the house. Everybody was drinking whiskey. That's when I picked up the whole whiskey drinking thing. I was like, I got nothing else to do. Couldn't go outside. Couldn't go see people. Definitely couldn't go to the bar and pay $12 for a shot of it.
True.
So I'm like, hey, $50 for a bottle? Why not?
Why not? All right, let's talk about it, as Trick would say. We're going to get into some Bloodline / Solo Sikoa / LA Knight / Royce Keys. Welcome to the party.
Hobbs. Yeah, Hobbs.
All right, Corey.
Right. I'm like, wait, what? First I thought he was talking about like Fast and the Furious. I'm like, Rock? What are we doing here? God only knows. But yeah, good job, Corey. Way to go on that one.
But we got Royce Keys and OTM added to the mix.
OTC?
Now. OTM.
Dumbass acronym to come up with when you know you're going to the main route. But when they came up with it in NXT a year ago, they had no idea.
True.
But yeah, it's inconvenient now. So I'm interested to see what this group is going to be called, because I highly doubt those two guys are going to be OT anything for much longer.
So they threw their name into the hat Monday night by coming out there and attacking the Bloodline and attacking Solo and
Solo Dolo.
Yes. Look. Solo is right now winning my Academy Award for the WWE.
So Solo with the Matrix move, that did me and that set me off. I was like, I
loved it.
And good up on Jay, for helping his little brother out by making sure the young people that had no idea what he was doing would recognize it. But for those of us old heads that were watching that have been as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, that was hilarious.
So I look, LA Knight and Solo Sikoa as a pair. I have never seen a more odd couple in the WWE, but it works.
Yeah. Well, what happened with that third guy, though? I mean, back in SummerSlam, we had a 6-man and they had a third guy.
We did.
Nobody really had any love for the third guy when he was out there getting jumped too long, a couple weeks back. So I guess he found some new friends.
Jacob Fatu put the hurting on him and he was out, and he comes back and he's just whooping everybody's ass.
He came back with a voice. I mean, it was kind of Shield-esque, kind of Nexus-esque. esque.
That's what I was about to throw down, because when those two, those two big houses is on the side of him come in there and it was throwing down with the bandanas on, and
it was the bandanas, because Triple H was like, I don't think we should do hoodies, because
that's bloodline.
Right. Like we can't do hoodies.
No.
And plus, we've done so many damn hoodies and masks over the last summer. I guess he was like, let's not do that again.
Well, also, Royce Keys talks about the street gang life, so the bandanas go right along with that. So.
And no way he was gonna be concealed by no damn hoodie. No. That wasn't covered up nothing. They probably tried it. Knowing Triple H, they probably tried it. Like, hey, black guys, put him in a hoodie. And then when he did it, they're like, ah, shit, he's recognizable as all. Forget it. Hell, we'll scratch that. Just let him go run out there and be Royce Keys.
So here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm seeing right now. You've got the Tribal Chief.
Yep.
And the Usos.
Yep.
And Jacob Fatu.
Something like that.
Yeah. See, so we'll come back to Jacob Fatu in a second. Then you got LA Knight.
Yep.
Solo Sikoa.
Solo Dolo.
Then you got now this new group. Royce Keys. OTM. Mm-hmm. All kinds of an entanglement going on. Are we sniffing out war games, perchance?
So the first thing is giving me is attitude era, when everybody's got to be
in a faction.
Got to be in a group somewhere or another. Damn it, if you ain't in a group, we'll find a group for you.
That's right.
Solo Dolo, LA Knight. No way in hell y'all are in a group together. But you're the two oddest men out on the roster. So damn it, now you're in a group.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what we're doing. But what you just said there, thinking about war games, aren't those numbers a little off there? Because you got 4, 2, and 3.
All right. So
don't you got to get a 4 to switch over to a 3 to make 3-3-3? Isn't that where are you picking up what I'm putting down there?
I think you're gonna see Roman step out. I don't think you see Roman in the war games. I think a 3-team war games will be interesting. I don't think we've ever seen that in the WWE.
Definitely not in WWE.
Right.
If we did, it was in NXT before we had full access.
So a 3-team war games would be interesting. So you get Jacob and the Usos, and then you get LA Knight Solo, and they need a partner, and then you got Royce and OTM.
Yep.
So who could be joining the ranks of Solo and LA Knight?
Well, see, I was leaning into it, but you did, and I said you're picking up what I'm putting down, and you did not pick up what I put down. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay it out here for you a little bit clearer, because the fans are probably, because if you confuse them, you lose them, right? So if I'm confusing the listeners like I confused you, then hell, they're gonna shut the radio off. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna get into it. But I don't see Jacob fighting on the side of the bloodline by the time we get to War Games in November. We got a long way to go to get to November, right? And again, if you got a 4-man team, you got a 3-man team, and you got a 2-man team, and it's just easier to shift one of those 4 over into one of those 2 to make 3-3-3.
But see, that I understand where you're coming from, but I don't see Jacob siding with Solo and LA.
You don't?
No.
What about when there were black Ulafalas being, or Ufalafas as LA Knight would call them, when those were getting passed out, who got overlooked in that?
Jacob did. But
I got more points now. I got to give more evidence.
I got you.
When the beatdown was happening a couple of weeks ago, Roman and all the guys Solo, and who was the guy that just stayed out of all that?
I understand.
So Jacob keeps being forced to be the odd man out. It's gonna make him feel some kind of way.
But I don't think it's Solo that he goes with. I think he joins Royce's new group. I do.
So let's continue painting the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Who put Royce out for a month?
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I also think that there's somewhere in those street rules where it's like sometimes the beat down, you do what you're told. Versus I didn't have a choice. That wasn't what I needed to do. Is there a way I can get back in?
Okay. I hear what you're saying, and I realize you're not from the street.
No.
So absolutely not. Because
farm boy.
Right. Those of us who grew up near the street, didn't have street activity, clean record, no felonies. But those of us who had that, we tend to know, there ain't no damn excuse for whooping my ass like that. Now, if you were told to whoop my ass, that means we might go to a certain extent, right? But you don't take it that far. Jacob took it way past the extent of this is what I was told to do. He took joy in that ass whooping. Now, if you beat me down because, top guy told you to beat me down. Okay, yeah, right. I get it. I don't love it, but I get it. But if you take joy in whooping my ass, oh no, now we got a problem. We got a problem that ain't gonna be fixed.
So we're going back to the I love you Solo.
I don't know if it turns into that, because I think what they realized before was Jacob was the top tier player in that situation, in the old bloodline, in bloodline 2.0 or whatever the hell we were calling that nonsense.
Okay.
I think they realized Jacob was the top player, but I think at this point you have to have Jacob, Solo, and LA Knight be equals. You can't offset, so because the Royce Keys, he's the boss, he's the heavy, and
we got to turn Jacob back face.
We got to get Jacob to where him and the bloodline just can't get back together. I mean, he never got along with Jay. His punk ass ain't never done. He ain't never got no respect out of Jacob.
Now you got Jay bitching him out, going, "We the captain."
Exactly, and rubbing it in his face and all that, and then Jimmy falling in line with it. So I mean, it is that now. So and Jacob tells you flat out, I'm only loyal to the OTC. He was like, I do what he says. I couldn't give a damn about the other two of y'all.
True.
So if the OTC crosses Jacob, that's all it takes. True. I mean, he ain't so ingrained in that it's hard to get him out. If the OTC, who we'll see in the next 2 episodes, because he's got to come back to Raw to set up his heavyweight title defense against either Penta or Rey Fenix, brothers that'll be wrestling for a world championship match.
Even a blind man could have saw that coming.
No, kid. When I saw the roster, I was like, okay, there's 2 WWE guys, and then the rest of them are AAA guys.
All right, so hold on.
No brainer here.
So hold on. Quick segue for a minute.
Okay.
Something completely off topic.
All right, I won't lose my train of thought.
Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix.
God.
Holy shit.
So it should have been them two now.
Seriously.
I don't know if Rey and Penta, now obviously they've been wrestling since the womb.
They're going to put on a clinic.
So but damn, I don't know if it's going to be better than that match we saw this Monday. Because them two dudes out there working took me back to like 1995 Ultimo Dragon Rey Mysterio cruiserweights.
Never seen anybody do a flying cannonball where the dude fucking picked up speed halfway through it in the air.
Charged.
I ain't never seen
I mean, he literally didn't go over the ropes. He went between the ropes
and picked
made
up
it all the way to the
air.
table and did a tuck flip into it. What the hell? There's no other way I can think of saying F my life. That's every bit of what he did there was just like, you know what? F my life.
I've lived a long life. I'm
exactly.
good.
He was like wrestling or bust. He was like, that's it. I'm leaving it all out there. Because had Ray missed the catch by just a hair, we'd be having a fully different conversation today. But my God.
We'd be back to the episode. You got to be more careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. Because we'd be talking about Dragon Lee and his career-ending injury that we just watched. And possibly
back to the Roman, back to the tribal chief.
Right, back to focus, but back in there, like I said, it doesn't take a lot to get Jay out of or get Jacob out of the circle of trust in there. One bad word out of Roman over these next 2 weeks, one bad order, one anything that can just rub Jacob the wrong way is really all it takes. But we've got an entire 2 months left before we get to Survivor Series. Survivor Series ain't happening at Sunday night's main event.
No.
Survivor Series ain't happening until November. So we've got all of September, all of October to tell this story. So we don't have to do it fast.
No.
It don't have to be a knee-jerk reaction. Roman has been...
You thinking about Live Again? You talking about jerking fast? Are you talking about Live Again?
No, because if I knee-jerk her... let me just tell you. Although, wait, let us stop now because apparently Liv's engaged now. So
that's true.
Right, we don't want to disrespect her engagement now.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that there ain't room for 3, but I mean, that's a completely different conversation to be had at another time. But no, we've got 2 good months to. I mean, we've already teased the tension, right? Roman's already backed Jacob off. He already pulled Jacob off. He kind of got in Jacob's face about beating down Solo, protecting him against LA Knight, and it didn't pay off for Roman because Roman ended up getting left laying both times. No way, and he watched Jacob just stand there and let it happen. Now, that was his command. That was the play he laid out, and Jacob just followed the play. But when you're getting your ass whooped, you're like, well, you got to throw an audible out there. You know what I mean? But we're getting into football mode now. It's getting to be that time of the year, so the lingo is starting to wander its way in there. But yeah, so there's been seeds planted already about dissension in the ranks. Again, like I said, there's no doubt about it between the Usos and Jacob. as far as we know right now, blind follower to Roman is what Jacob's playing now. But that's where he was with I Love You Solo. He was a blind follower. He couldn't give a damn about the NFTs, but he was a blind follower of I Love You Solo until he wasn't.
Right, true. Interesting conversation there. Let's move on, though. We talked about Liv just a moment. Let's talk about some of the situation that she's getting herself into with Stephanie Vaquer, or Vaquer.
Yeah.
And Becky Lynch. This is an interesting little debacle here between these three ladies.
Well, first, let's start off with welcome back, Stephanie Vaquer. God damn, I didn't know how much I missed her until she came back. You know what they say? You don't know what you got till it's gone. Hell, she came back and she walked out there and she did that kiss of death thing that she did. And I said, God damn, I'd forgotten how nice that was to just sit back and enjoy.
All I'm going to say is I echo your sentiments.
That's all that needs to be said. Because let me just say, the social networks out there, they're saying what we're saying. They know what we're talking about.
So let me ask you this. Obviously, we're going to a triple threat match between these three. That's where it's heading, right?
Must be.
All right. So do they continue with Liv? Do they rekindle what was lost at WrestleMania with Stephanie? Or do they go back to old reliable with Becky Lynch?
Well, Liv's only got one title defense under her belt since Mania. So we're at, what, $130 as far as days, I think? Yeah, about 130 days. She's got one defense. So
yeah, that's wild.
Right. So I guess I'm at a lot. We don't even know what we got. I mean,
we don't.
Hell.
That is true. That is true.
This is her first actual title feud since WrestleMania. So it's post SummerSlam, for Christ's sake.
This whole thing is weird to me, though, because just like you're saying, she's had one title defense, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, we don't know what we got.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so do you let her to continue going forward so we do know what we got with a Liv Morgan title reign? Yeah. Or Stephanie Vaquer just came back. You going to squash the momentum of a comeback like that, like all of a sudden, and not put the belt back on her, but then Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe that's why you get a third party interjected.
Why do you put somebody the status of Becky Lynch in a main title program if you don't have intentions of putting the strap on her?
At this point, maybe she's untouchable, right? Maybe she's the fall guy that won't be damaged if she takes a pinfall, right? Because there's always that guy.
I can see that.
Go back, flashback a year and a half ago at Mania 41. When it was Roman, Punk, and Cody. And you're like, what? I mean, not Roman, Punk, and Cody. Roman, Punk, and Seth.
Right.
And you're like, wait, what are we doing here? Who's going to take the fall in that? Well, it ended up being Roman. And you look at it and you say, well, who's probably the most untouchable out of all those guys? Had to be Roman, right?
Okay, so what if we get around something like this? What if, obviously there's some tensions that have always been between Roxanne and Liv. That Liv, I don't think Liv really believes Roxanne should be there. Okay. Roxanne was brought in by Finn. Finn's no longer the group. So why is Roxanne there, right? Yeah. So Liv's always had contention with Roxanne. What if there's a world where Roxanne tries to help Liv win this supposed triple threat match, messes it up, Liv loses, either Becky or Stephanie becomes champ. They go off into a program against each other, and Liv holds resentment against Roxanne, and they start a program together.
Somebody finally leaves Judgment Day. And
I'm tired of seeing Roxanne just be the little, the come along to their group.
Well, right now, she's the pinfall guy. She's the one out there taking all the pinfalls because you put a title on Raquel.
I mean, you saw the match that she had the other night. This girl can go. Like, she deserves to be in the main title scene instead of just being somebody's sidekick at the ringside.
Maybe not if all the way at the main title, because again, the bottleneck of WWE that we always talk about. But I mean, there's a pretty strong mid card going on right now over in WWE with the Intercontinental Women's title that Roxanne would fit damn good in. Because I mean, first of all, Raquel's her buddy or her faction partner is champion, but I mean, you've got Sol Ruca, obviously, but the blue hair girl, now I can't think of her name now. I don't know. Bailey's friend.
Oh, Lyra.
She's floating around in there. You got Sol Ruca floating around in there. That's a good world for Roxanne Perez to be floating around in, is getting into that. What's not a good world is the third lackey in the Judgment Day. I mean, she's damn near JD at this point. That's not a good place to be when the other two women are champions.
It's so time to break up the Judgment Day. It's so time.
It is. So you either gotta elevate them. You gotta do something with. You gotta mix them up. There's been rumors, and we're gonna talk about rumors here, so it's a good time to bring one up. There's rumors about Big Cass finding his way into the Judgment Day now because of the interactions they've had with Javon Evans the past couple of weeks. That wouldn't be horrible for the Judgment Day because they do need something brand new. That wouldn't
be horrible for Big Cass. So I kind of
damn sure wouldn't be horrible for him because he needs somebody that can talk.
Yeah,
hell,
seriously,
the go out there and beat him up big man thing ain't gonna work when he ain't fighting Javon Evans no more. There ain't too many more guys he can just go out there and big man around. So,
all right, let's transition over to SmackDown. We got to talk about what's cooking between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. This is getting interesting by the Friday night. It's more interesting. It keeps developing.
I know why you went there because we just brought up rumors. There's a lot of rumors circulating around this.
So with Cody and Randy, obviously the promos are stellar. Both of these guys are leaning into the I'm the legend killer, I've got to be the worst version of myself versus I'm going to be the one to put down the legend killer. You had Cody, though, throw out a line that sent everybody spinning last Friday night.
He's thrown out a few.
That line, though, that he threw out was, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler.
That's what he said.
Where does that line come from?
Only one other person says
Only
that.
one.
Well, we say it, but I mean, we also are on the inside. They just don't know it. But yeah, only one other television personality says that.
Mr. Paul Heyman. And in Cody's world, it's Mr. Heyman.
It's always been Mr. Heyman. And Cody's never shied away from having the utmost respect for Paul for what Paul did for Dusty back in the day. So putting those two together now, there's some caveats to that, right? Because Cody don't need a talker, for one.
Cody does not need a talker, but there is another rumor that is circling around Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman. And if this rumor turns out to be true, you will see Marky Mark mark out harder than Mark has marked out for anything in his life.
Oh, okay.
And here's the reason.
Okay.
I was a huge Four Horsemen fan back in the day.
I could see that.
I loved the arrogance and the clout of Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I loved the chicken shit heel. I loved the enforcer roles of whether it was Lex Luger or
Sid Vicious,
Barry Windham. Yeah. I loved those roles, right? And then you had your tag team with Arn and Tully sitting in there, right? The Four Horsemen, to me, it just brought out a dynamic that we hadn't really seen in wrestling. Nobody got that whole stable role.
Yeah, because that was early. That was mid '80s.
Right.
That you didn't have factions in the mid '80s. You didn't have groups like that. They spawned off of the Four Horsemen.
Yep. And then you had the glue that held the team, the faction together, and the one, the only
James J. Dillon. Yeah.
So here is where this rumor is going. If Paul Heyman or Mr. Heyman and Cody Rhodes are to reinvigorate the Four Horsemen, I'm already a Cody fan. You're going to make me fall in love with Cody Rhodes even more. So he already holds the title like Ric Flair.
Yeah, he does mimic himself after Rick, which is strange because you think he would be the son of a plumber. Actually, he should be the son of the son of the son of a plumber. But I mean, you think he would lean more into that. But yeah, Cody went the complete opposite. And I understand it because that's kind of like Dustin's role. When Dustin was before the Goldust character, before that whole iteration, Dustin was the natural. He was the hard-working son of the plumber guy. Right. So I get why Cody couldn't lean into that. But let's poke some holes into that here real quick. Because first thing, if Cody and Paul Heyman start promoing at the same time on the same side, I'm not listening to 30 minutes of promos every week because those two fuckers can talk their asses off. I can't deal with it, right? I can listen to it. What is also my fear is that one day Paul Heyman will come on. What do you want to talk about with Cody on the podcast?
Oh, God.
That'd be like a 5-hour. Yeah, that'd be like a week-long episode. They'd have to do it in sections.
Segments.
Yeah, because it would never end. I mean, God, those two talking would be a never-ending saga. But other than that, there really ain't much I could go against. Now, the second way I want to poke a hole in it, though, is that Paul's ingrained in a lot of things on Raw right now. For him to get out of that and transition over to SmackDown would take a pretty cataclysmic event.
Let me help you with that.
All right, I need to know because right. We got to fill in the blanks here because you just like hop, skipped, and jumped over to Paul's on SmackDown, and I'm like, wait, how does he get there?
I'm going to help you with this. So, Paul has already distanced himself from the Vision multiple times.
Did he?
He keeps hanging
right there with Braun Breaker.
He keeps hanging around, right?
Yeah.
I think Monday night in the contract signing between Braun Breaker and Oba Femi.
Yeah.
I think that.
Man, how'd we get in this whole conversation? We didn't have no Oba yet. Holy hell.
I think that whole breakdown in that contract signing between Braun throwing the temper tantrum at Paul, shoving the contract in Paul's chest, telling Oba, why don't you get your daddy to sign it? I really believe that might have been the last nail in the coffin on the relationship between Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman for now.
Okay.
For now is the key word.
Okay.
All right. So Braun is going to go off and do his own thing right now. He's going to do his thing with Oba. I think the Vision implodes. I think you get a program between Braun Breaker and Austin Theory. I think that's somewhere down the line.
Okay.
Because obviously Logan Paul is out of the picture still. He's not been cleared yet. So that whole world, let's leave that world for a moment right there. So we separated Paul from Braun.
Don't go too far away from it, though, because I got some comments on that.
But we separated Paul from Braun right now, right? That frees Paul to go over to SmackDown to do the J.J. Dillon thing with Cody, right?
Okay.
All right, so here's where I put that pin in Paul and Braun, but now I'm going to unpin it.
Okay.
Braun does his thing between Oba. Whatever he does with the Vision, wraps all that story up right there. I think he comes over to SmackDown. If Cody revitalizes the Four Horsemen, that's your enforcer, Braun Breaker.
Maybe.
I think that's your enforcer.
Maybe, but
that's
why
also pedigree with the Steiner brothers and the Rhodes. That's some pedigree there.
True, but the Steiners always fought the Horsemen. They never joined the Horsemen. But so the reason I didn't want to divvy away too far from that is because we're in the same line of thinking, but you took an extra turn that I wasn't willing to take. I think more along the lines of, now we've already talked about, I think we speculated, if we haven't on recording for the fans, we definitely speculated amongst ourselves that Bronson Reed's definitely getting involved in that match. So we'll deal with that next week. But when we do predictions and all that, we'll wander more into that then. But I think everybody, hell, Ray Charles could see that one coming, right? No way he ain't going to get involved in that match somewhere or another.
True.
But I see the Vision as a whole unit breaking away from Paul, maybe on Raw, but I see them being the Cody Four Horsemen guys. The Four Horsemen guys, you're not going to have a faction. It's kind of, especially not in Triple H's idea booking. He's going to do it like Evolution, where he's going to have an older established guy who would be Paul. You're going to have your current heavyweight star, which is Cody, but now you got to bring up the other guys that you're ready to graduate to that next level.
All right, so
I'm seeing those guys being Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. That's your Batista and that's your Randy Orton right there in Evolution. That's your that's your enforcer and that's your tag guys right there.
Okay, all right, so we're cooking. We got it on the stove. We add the ingredients. All right, so I got 3 of the 4. I think I know who the 4th is.
I think I know who it is too.
You're not going to like it, but I think I know who the 4th is.
We're probably thinking the same person, but because I've heard rumors.
Let's say it on 3. You ready?
All right, 1, 2. Wait, hold on. I got to get the name. All right, I got it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Ricky Starks. Ricky Saints. Yeah, there you go. That's why I said I had to get the name. I knew I was going to screw it up. But yeah, no way he don't get in this, right? He's Cody's number 1 guy. He's like his right-hand man. He's like the damn Jey Uso to Roman. No way he ain't that guy, right? I mean, you got to find a way to get him in there. So in all honesty, I see Austin Theory and Logan Paul wandering their way out because apparently Logan Paul has been semi-cleared as far as what he's saying.
Right.
That being said, I feel like he's going to get the tag title back because it looks so out of place on Braun Breaker in this feud against Oba. This is so dumb. You see it. He's standing where I'm the future. No, I'm the future. Dude, you're a tag guy. Right. What the hell? You're not the future. You have a partner.
Right.
But nonetheless, so I see that falling completely apart. But yeah, I see Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed wandering over with Paul. Of course, this Braun Breaker tension with Paul Heyman, for me, this is all to screw over Obafemi, right?
Right.
There's no way that that's real. I feel like the whole handshaking thing between Oba and Paul Heyman is a farce. I think Paul's going to look at it. You took out my beast. You sent my beast home. I'll never be your friend. I'm going to spend the rest of my days trying to destroy Obafemi and his legacy. All of that's a farce for him to partner up with Braun Breaker and wander off with Bronson Reed, beat Obafemi down at Sunday night's main event, and wander their way over to the Four Horsemen. Because they tried that with the Vision. That was the original plan with the Vision. Yep. They were supposed to be that Four Horsemen group that injuries could not beat. Father Time and injuries are undefeated, and those two fuckers lost to all of them. I see those guys wandering over there doing that with Paul and Cody, and then throw Ricky Saints in there to be that guy.
I only have one request.
Okay.
I only have one request. If they rekindle the Four Horsemen, I need them to revitalize the Four Horsemen entrance music that was there in the late 90s.
The WCW music?
Yes, with the horses at the beginning.
Yeah, I remember.
And then the slow guitar. The slow guitar. I loved that music for some reason.
Arn used it for a long time. Even after the Horsemen were over, they took the horses out and he just used the music. So I held on to that. I definitely appreciated that music too. Yep. That would be a good throwback. I'm not sure they're going to look that deep into it because, again, it's Cody and his whole music thing. I don't necessarily see them.
But even when Rick was with the Horsemen, the Space Odyssey, whatever that was that Rick had, he still had it on his single.
That was in the late 90s. Now, in the early 90s, in the early iterations of Four Horsemen, they always came out to Rick's music.
That's
Rick
true.
was
they
the man.
Always did.
They wandered their way out when they came up with a Four Horsemen music. That's when they transitioned into that.
Cody has hinted at things over the past year.
So you alluded to that earlier, and I wanted to get back into it, but then we wandered off into whatever else. And so much conversation is exciting. But you mentioned Cody saying about it's not a spoiler. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. He definitely did that, but a few weeks back, and I mean a few weeks now, we're going back before SummerSlam, there was a lot of images online of Cody holding up the four. I mean, and nobody's doing anything by accident, right?
No.
Especially not Cody Rhodes. Cody don't hold up four fingers by accident. People leaned into, it might be The Rock. Yep. People leaned into, and I mean, hell, The Rock said a long time ago, 1, 2, 3, and then he did the throat slash. He never got to 4. What if Cody gets to the 4 and he actually revitalizes the Four Horsemen?
He even mentioned before SummerSlam, he's like, I'm entertaining one day of having a theme song change. What would you guys like to hear? I mean, he's
you couldn't do nothing wrong with
right.
it.
So there's hints that's being dropped along the way. If they were to do this, I promise you, every Four Horsemen shirt they put on WWEshop.com, I'm buying that shirt. I don't care.
So this would be, if they execute it correctly, this could be Hogan going NWO.
It could be.
If you find a way to execute it correctly, but that's going to take a lot of creative, and I don't even know when you do it at this point.
This does not need to be, though, a Four Horsemen that's around for 6 months or a year.
Oh, no. At this point, if you're going to do it, it's Bloodline-esque. You have to go all in.
You're in it for 5-10 years.
No, it's Bloodline-esque. If you're going to do it, you have to commit fully to it because Rick and the guy, even they broke up at times, but they always found when WCW closed, you still knew who the Horsemen were, and they were still associated with that. When WWE came, when Hunter retired, they still most recently have done an Evolution reunion. They did a DX reunion.
Yep.
When you're in those kind of factions, you're in them forever. You don't get out of them. Hogan died wearing an NWO shirt, for Christ's sake. Scott Hall died wearing an NWO.
Yep.
Kevin Nash is still wearing his NWO. And Eric Bischoff's making no money on NWO merchandise. It was his fucking brainchild. Dumb fucking business move, but what the hell? What do you do? But nonetheless, when you're in those factions, they gotta be for life. Not to take the NWO's thing, but they gotta be for life.
And I mean, it's everything though. It's the music, it's the look, it's the presentation, it's the wear, it's the stuff people can buy, but it's also the hand gesture that goes along with it. Yeah. I mean, there is nothing in my mind that when somebody holds up a 4, it's 4 horsemen. There's nothing else.
Well, Arn still does it. For life. Arn still does it. We're 40 years later. I mean, Arn lived that gimmick. But if you're gonna do it, I think Triple H did as close as he could with Evolution, because I think that was his ode to the 4 horsemen. Having Rick in there, obviously.
Correct.
Him being the champ, holding the big gold. He was the Rick character. But then you take 2 young up-and-comers like Batista and Randy Orton, and you're like, hell, we want to make you guys. Let's make you guys.
Yep.
There ain't no better way, especially with the refurbished Bronson Reed that we got now.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. If that dude comes, if he looks like he looks in the gym. Now, don't get me wrong, Bronson Reed seems like he's one ho-ho away from like 300 pounds again. But if he comes back the way he's looking in the gym right now, he don't come back in that same nonsense they had him doing before. He ain't Bam Bam Bigelow no more. At this point, he's a beast. He's a monster.
He's Dave Batista.
He's Sid at this point. Yeah, he's your Batista. Yep. And Braun Breaker is obviously your Randy Orton. Both guys who went on to be multiple-time heavyweight champions, which was the original vision of Evolution.
And with Hunter be such a great friend and has Flair as a mentor, it's so on the nose that this is a possibility. It's so there. It's just whether or not they
if it wasn't before this episode dropped, then damn Friday night, if y'all ain't having a creative meeting Saturday morning about, did y'all hear what the Bookers Alliance was talking about? If we could pull this off, I'm telling you guys, all you got to do is call. We'll pull it off.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, we're just giving you the tidbits. We're giving you the sound bites. We've thought this through thoroughly. We could make this shit happen. We could have this on paper by the weekend.
Yep.
Monday morning on Raw, you guys could be writing a script to make this stuff start happening. But you didn't call. So, all
right, we got to get to the topic of today's episode.
Hell, that ain't the top. I thought we just topicked. What are you doing? I thought we were about to wrap it up.
No, we got to get to the topic of today's episode.
Holy hell.
The tale of three
I'm over here
bums.
sweating. The whiskey's going down. Good God Almighty! I thought we were wrapping up.
The tale of 3 bums.
Oh my God!
Who are our 3 bums, sir?
Hobo 1, Hobo 2. You got Hobo Punk, Hobo Zane, and Hobo Owens. Hoboins. Good God Almighty! Are there 3 other indie wrestlers that you could literally pick off the indie circuit right now and put in the main event scene on SummerSlam or WrestleMania and all that, and actually get people to buy tickets? Good God!
I say this topic's name in jest, but there is an element of truth to what you're saying.
I mean, there's a whole lot of truth to it because Jesus Lord, the 3. I mean, they literally buy their wrestling gear at Walmart. Let's start there, right? I mean,
Punk out there wrestling in tidy whities.
I mean, right, and even KO had to say, Punk's breath got to be horrid, right? I mean, it cannot be the best, right? Because I mean, yeah, he's hanging on to like 3 snaggles in there, and that's about all he's got. And then you got Sami Zayn over there. He's got more damn food and snacks in his beard than the Lord allows. So, and then you got KO out there. He's 300 pounds wrestling in a damn cutoff T-shirt. He's a walking hillbilly. I mean, he's redneck from Canada. I mean, what are we doing here? Good God Almighty!
All right. With that being said, though,
this could go on and on. That segment could last forever.
The story that they are weaving between these 3 gentlemen is very interesting. You've got the genuine hate between Punk and KO. Whether this hate is still steeped in realism from what it used to be, whether it is, hey, we've done let bygones be bygones, but let's put this out there as a story and let's make money.
Yeah.
But you know how it is between KO and Sami. They're the best frenemies that you've ever seen on WWE television, but behind the scenes, them dudes are brothers. Like they would die for each other.
Absolutely.
So it's one of those things where what we're being told is such a great story. I'm interested to see how much of the Sami interference is going to derail KO from his all-out hatred of Punk right now.
Well, I mean, what Sami did the last time we saw him on SmackDown by, bashing KO over the head with the belt, bashing Punk over the head with the belt, destroying KO's one and only title opportunity that he earned at SummerSlam. I don't necessarily know if those guys love each other on camera right now, right? Because if it's me, the hatred I have for Punk is now, subsided because of the hatred I have for the dude that just cost me the world title.
Yep.
In my second match ever. Somehow or another, I wandered back in and a title opportunity fell out of the sky. But what the hell, right? But yeah, at this point now, I don't see where any one of those guys don't completely hate the other one, as far as TV goes, to the ends of the earth. I mean, first you got Punk, whose skinny fat ass called Kevin Owens a fat ass, and now they got beef because of that. And then you got Sami, who took both of their title opportunities and just squandered both of them, bashed them both over the head, ruined what was starting to be a great match, and just threw himself right in the middle of the title picture. With valid reason, because, hey, he never got his rematch from his original title loss. His title loss was ridiculous at best. He has a good reason to be upset, right? KO has a good reason to be upset for what his friend just did to him and the skinny fat dude that called him out. And Punk's got a damn good reason to be upset because Sami jumped him for no reason and tried to cost him the title and hand it to KO on a silver platter. This is great TV here. All three of these guys should hate each other and they should be willing to kill each other for it. It feels like a homeless night in the downtown area where three guys are fighting over one turkey leg. There's one free turkey leg thrown on the ground and you got three bums that are looking at it like, holy hell.
So we're saying
that's dinner for the week.
We're going to have an under the bridge match. Is that
essentially so? That's what it sounds like. I mean, hell, all they need now is like old rags and a couple grocery carts. You get a couple of those out there and hell, you get these three guys wrestling over. You could put a grocery cart on a pole for Christ's sake and have the three of them wrestle for it till the bitter end. Yeah, there's enough animosity here that's got me interested.
I do see where we're going probably down the lanes again of a triple threat match.
Yeah.
I do see it, but there's a fourth guy that's in this mix that's not really apparent.
A fourth guy?
There is a fourth guy that's in this mix.
I need to know who this is. I'm confused.
The Ring General, Gunther. He is in this mix between all four of these.
Nowhere near this mix.
Yes.
So he's not a bum, though. I mean,
he's not a bum.
Gunther carries himself well. He's well dressed. He's not the one of these guys ain't the same, and
Correct.
he's that one. Correct. He can't be in this. He has to wait for whoever comes out of this alive to pick the bones.
I honestly feel like you're gonna find the triple threat match happen. And I really think you're going to see KO come out winning.
Wow.
KO's going
to be the world champion?
KO's going to come out. He's going to come out
on the other side of this. Could be a Survivor Series match at this point. You think KO's going to lead us into the new year and possibly into WrestleMania as the champion?
I do. I think Sami has had his day. I don't think they're ever going to put the belt back on Sami.
Yeah, so I agree with that. Thank God we're on the same page with that. That mistake that happened, that should never happen again. But okay.
I don't think they'll ever put the belt back on Sami.
So you don't think Sami? So let's follow your theory. KO wins it. He carries it into, let's say, Mania. You don't think it's Sami and KO at Mania and Sami wins again? I
think Sami and KO is your end game for Mania again because of the Saudi connection, and that's where Mania is. So I think there is
Sami wins it again from his best friend in Saudi to redo the whole special moment again.
I don't
know about that one.
I think
as much as I would hate it, as much as it would just turn my stomach to see that belt. I mean, all those intercontinental belts that those two fuckers could wrestle over, they won't. But it would just kill me inside to see those two. But I do see that being the end game for me.
I think eventually you see KO hang on to this long enough for Cody to come back around the horn for the feud between KO and Cody to heat back up. And if it's with the Four Horsemen, if Cody's got the Four Horsemen by that point, if all of that happens, right?
Okay, yeah. If he's got the Four Horsemen, then at that point he has to come after the title. At that point,
he's got to come back around. But
faction leader can't
just remember though,
hang around. He's got to come back for the title. Okay,
but remember when the Four Horsemen was hot, there was always an opposition, right?
Yeah, you got to have one.
It was either Dusty. Or Luke or Sting or there was always somebody out there, right?
You can't have a faction without a opposite on the other side.
So there's only two people on SmackDown that I could think of that could fill that role.
Okay,
it's either Punk, or it's KO, that can be hot enough to be in that whole Four Horsemen struggle, Outside of that, you've got Gunther. Could Gunther be part of the Horsemen? Maybe. Maybe. It could fit into that stable. Who knows?
Maybe we need to reinvent. We need to reinvent Imperium at this point.
So I'm just saying, Gunther to be on the outside as long as he's been on the outside.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, he's injected back into it.
He's inevitably going to want to be back in that main event title picture.
But with that being said, I mean, we have talked about a lot today.
There's so much, but there's so much hanging. I mean, you take 1 week off, and hell, they pick the week to kill us on it. So,
so with that, everybody, thank you for today's episode. Appreciate what you do. Drop us a line on our social media platforms. Let us know your thoughts. And with that, everybody, we bid you adieu.
Peace. Ooh, side note.
Today's
welcome
podcast
to main
was
roster
produced by
Fight.
SBP. You can find our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Also, connect with us on our social media accounts. Search for The Bookers Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X.